We are back now with our continuing coverage of today's sentencing, and during the 2 hours of live coverage, we heard from more than a dozen family members of the victims. That was scheduled, it was expected, but there were some unexpected moments as well. A man lunging at the gunman, hearing from the now 19-year-old shooter himself, and the judge's powerful remarks from the bench as she told him that he will never again see the light of day as a free man. I want to get some context on all of that with attorney and Two on Your Side legal analyst Paul Cambria. So Paul, starting here with the shooter in court today,
yes.
And you know there's still this federal case that is pending, and
Right.
how that may have factored into what he said today.
Well, I think it's clear. He's trying to show I accepted responsibility, I'm contrite, I'm apologetic, and therefore you should not impose the death penalty on me. I think that's all programmed to do that. That was the goal. That was the goal of the plea. We'll plead to everything. They can prove it anyway. It's all on video. Well, so we'll plead to everything, and then our whole mantra will be contrition and, admission and so on, and avoid the death penalty.
What about that outburst that happened in court today? Obviously, emotions are so high, and none of us can imagine what these families have gone through.
Yeah.
You said earlier today that you've actually seen that happen in court before. For a lot of us, it was, we'd never seen anything like that.
Yeah, many times I had it happen, specifically the two worst to me. One was a police officer I was representing in court who had to be restrained by like 10 deputies. And the other was, of course, the famous Larry Flint shooting. At that time I was representing him. They shot him and my local counsel right in front of me. So things like that happen. Courts can be very dangerous.
And obviously a lot of security, as we can see.
Well, they were ready. It was clear they were ready, and they had a program. You can see that it was rush the defendant out and walk up and protect the judge. So they had a program.
Finally, I want to get your reaction. You mentioned the judge. She made powerful remarks from the bench, and that was something, again, that so many of us had just never heard anything like that during a sentencing. What did you make of Judge Egan's, what she said to the defendant when, again, she told him, you're never going to see another free day in your life?
Well, that part, I've heard that many times in the past. The part that really impressed me was that she personalized the sentencing of each of the individuals who were killed. And she said something about them, and then she imposed the sentence. I'd never heard that before. I thought it was marvelous. I really thought it was a touch of, the legal system meets humanity, and it really was it was fantastic.
And talking about the bigger picture, I mean, systemic racism and the history of the country. I mean, it was a unique.
Well, that's right. And, sometimes judges make a little speech, but here, what she did was really wrap together everything that we witnessed this morning. We witnessed some very interesting and heartfelt statements by the victim's family and victims themselves, and then the judge kind of put it all together at the end and made some sense out of it. And of course, what everyone hopes is that some good will come out of this evil thing.
Paul Cambria is an attorney and Two on Your Side legal analyst. Always great to see you, Paul. Thank you.
My pleasure.